Okay, let's take Lara out the equation. Let's say he's the most boring, negative runner, milling. Let's say he's the most negative, boring runner ever. Let's take him out the equation. I'll give you that guys that one. Yeah, he don't deserve shit. Let's give you that one. So what about all the other guys who mill on the retreat and fight clever? Because all I've been hearing since the weekend is a lot of the fighters I'm going to mention here are not as excessive as Lara. How much credit do they get in boxing? Let's explore some of that now. I was just watching Kamagai versus Guerrero, and I didn't manage to see it live. I managed to get a copy of it, and I've got it on my USB drive. So I watched it the day after the fight. And I'm just going back to it now, and I've watched a few rounds, and I've just come to the conclusion, man. You see, when you watch them fights in real time, it might be okay. It might be okay. And, you know, you might go back to it and say, yeah, but, you know, in hindsight of what everybody's been saying about running and then me countering with the milling argument, I'm looking at that fight, and it's actually not a good fight. It's not, it really isn't a good, like, there's so much of the ring that they're not using, yeah? They're not using the jab properly. They're falling inside, begging for uppercuts. Basically, now, let me phrase this before anyone, you know, thinks, oh, Beats is saying he's a better fighter. I could fight hard. Look, if I went in there now, they'd fuck me up, all right? I'd get fucked up. I don't have the fitness or the muscle memory or the years of training to get me tough enough to survive a war like that. So let's get that straight. I can't do that. But I could fight like how they're fighting. I could do that. There's no skill in that at all. There was no skill, right? The fight was repetitive. Repetitive. Not one of them had the sense to say, let me back up and try and make my opponent run into some of my punches. Not one at one stage. That's good, yeah? That's good. So basically, for it to be a good fight or an FOTY candidate of the year, you have to forget the fundamentals. That is what you're literally saying to me. That's what you're saying to me. Yeah, well, Beats is excessive running and is running. Well, you guys have put that as the fight of the year. And all I'm seeing is flaws. Every part of the fight is just flaws. How about on occasion when your back touches the ropes, you spin off out of range? Just occasionally. Not once. Not once. No. Sorry. Look. Yeah, pow, 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 pow. You guys are getting like little children. Don't you see that? You're getting like little children. I'm bored. You're like little children. And don't give me this argument where we're only talking about Lara, because I've heard you say the same things about Floyd and Hopkins. So don't give me that either. About Lara was excessive, because there've been better boxers than Lara, right, who haven't ran as much, and you still said the same thing. Same argument. So don't give me that either. They used to do the same thing to Winky, right? Oh, he's too defensive. Winky wasn't running anywhere. Where was Winky running? He didn't even really mill that much. Just had a great guard and good timing, and had the sense to step around his opponent when they were rushing in. Destroyed Rigondeaux's career. So don't give me that it's only Lara. It's bullshit. Yeah, well, he's not the same as Pernell Whitaker. Pernell used to score punches and he wasn't so excessive. Well, how come he used to get robbed on the fucking scorecards all the time? I can name 3 occasions when he got blatantly robbed on the scorecards. How come he never got to pay-per-view? I'm not buying anybody who tells me they're not trying to marginalize boxers who mill on the retreat or slick boxers. I'm not buying it from nobody. Oh, Lara didn't do enough. Listen. If Lara was 20% more aggressive in that fight, they would have still robbed him. Bottom line. They would have still robbed him. They said the same thing about Whitaker against Chavez. Oh, he didn't really do enough. Yeah, it was cute boxing, but he didn't do enough. What else or more or extra would Floyd have to have done not to get a draw on CJ Ross's scorecards? Tell me. Floyd was lucky he performed that night, because they had the ski mask and gats waiting to stick him up that night. Oh, yes. You guys want to talk about power punches? The only person I saw really get tagged hard in the Herrera-Garcia fight was Garcia, right? Herrera clearly won the fight. And he used the ring correctly. And he threw his jab properly. He timed his attacks. And yes, you can win a fight behind the jab. Herrera did it. So did Eddie Chambers against Thomas Adamek. Only the 3 blind mice judges didn't give them their due rewards. I'd rather watch Herrera rather than Robert Guerrero just standing there in the one spot, just throwing his arms. I'd rather watch that. I'd rather watch that. Yeah, I can watch the phone booth fight too. I can watch that. I'm not going to try and pretend I'm some cultured elitist, you know. No, I'm not going to go there. I can watch the phone booth fight. But goddamn, you guys are putting it on way too high a pedestal. But for the most part, I'm not a child. I don't mind watching somebody implement technique and bring some tactics that they've worked on in the training camp. I'd rather see that, bro. I'd rather see that than 2 C-level guys just swinging their arms, leaning into uppercuts, not judging distance. I was so glad to see Andre Ward return to the ring, man, against Rodriguez, you know. He used the ring, you know. He fought up close, kept his left hand up inside, worked my guy over. He fought clean, he fought a dirty fight, all-round boxing. Jabs, straight, rights, all the punches. Implemented all types of defense. Total fighting. Where's the credit he gets? Does he get any more credit than Lara? No, he don't. And he fought inside way more than Canelo did, and he landed way more punches than Canelo did. Oh, you don't like the way he boxes, you know? Too clever, I mean, boring. Tell me I'm lying. One of my favorite fights is Larry Holmes versus Ken Norton, you know? But Holmes was using the ring. And Norton was cutting the ring down and using that cross-arm defense. They were skilled there. In the last round, they both forgot all the fundamentals and they went for it. Because it was for the heavyweight championship in the world. We understand that. It was all on the line. Yeah? But goddamn, man. They engaged each other in phone booth warfare, but they used the ring too and they used the skills. I will say this, though. Kamagai has no head movement, and if he fights at world class for prolonged periods, he's going to get hurt badly. But I will say he cuts the ring off better than Canelo. You know? He kept his left foot outside of Guerrero's tightly, and blocked off that space and blocked off the left-hand side of the ring, you know? In fact, he was focusing so much of it on his foot placement, he was leaving himself open to get caught while stepping in. You know, we'll leave it there for now. You know what I mean? I might come back and rant on it again. I don't know. I might well do.